welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about Lucrezia Borgia, who was consummated 3 times in one night at her wedding. Now, if you want more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications, so that you never miss an upload. Now let's get started. The year is 1499, and all roads lead to the Spanish city of Valencia. And why is that? Well, because tomorrow is the wedding of Giulia Farnese, the daughter of the reigning Pope, Alexander VI, and Alfonso I of Naples. There will be no expense spared for this wedding. And even though these two are first cousins, well, they're going to need all the help they can get. Giulia's mother, Vanya, is desperately trying to keep her daughter from having a cold. Her brother, the future Pope, is off in France getting crowned, and the rest of the family is doing their best to not murder each other. And what a sight to behold. The bride is a vision in white. She's actually wearing ivory, but we call it white because, well, that's the color of the most expensive ivory. And then there's the groom. He looks like he's been dipped in gold. That's because he's wearing clothes made of gold thread. His crown is even gilded with gold leaf. There is a reason for this. See, Alfonso isn't just any prince, he's the son of King Ferdinand and Isabella of Aragon, and you know how much they love their gold. But the show stealer of this wedding isn't the bride, the groom, or any of their many relatives. It's the bride's lady-in-waiting, Lucrezia Borgia. She's beautiful with long flowing hair, bright red lips, and eyes that could melt butter. Men at the wedding are practically drooling over her. Women are gossiping about how she must be the most desired woman in the world. And it's no wonder, because when your father is the infamous Pope Alexander VI, men will go out of their way to try and sleep with you. Why? Well, the Pope has been known to bless those who sleep with his daughters, making them extremely useful for political gain. And when the wedding is over, everyone heads back to the palace. The bride and groom have a lovely apartment overlooking the sea. But where does Lucrezia stay? Well, she gets a room right next door. And here's the thing. Her father, the Pope, makes sure that the door connecting her room to his is kept open at night. Why would he do such a thing? Well, because he's got his eye on a prize, namely his daughter's new husband. You see, Pope Alexander VI is desperate to secure an heir, and he thinks that Alfonso might be the boy that can finally give him one. And so every night he sneaks into his daughter's room while the groom is sleeping peacefully in the next bed over. What? No, really, this is what happened. And you think that you're too good for this sort of thing, but honestly, have you seen the Pope's apartments? They're right next door. If the walls could talk, they'd probably scream bloody murder. Lucrezia is horrified at first, but her father is the Pope and he doesn't take no for an answer. So she just gives up and accepts her fate. Oh, and by the way, she's only 18 years old. While all of this is going on, her cousin Giulia is starting to suspect something fishy is going on. Every morning she wakes up with bruises on her body, and one day she finds a strand of the Pope's hair in her bed. When she confronts her father, he just tells her to stop being so ridiculous. And the wedding night that we mentioned at the beginning of the video, well, it goes down in history for another reason entirely. You see, once the ceremony is over and the dinner is finished, it's time for the first dance. And who could possibly dance better than the bride and groom? So they take to the floor and they're redoing pretty well until the bride accidentally steps on the groom's foot. Naturally, he lets out a yelp, and in a moment of pure panic, Giulia does something she never thought she'd do. She kicks off her elaborate gold and white slippers and throws them to the ground. Well, Alfonso, he sees this and thinking fast, he pretends to be mortally wounded. He collapses onto his knee and cries out for water. And suddenly the whole mood of the party shifts. People start to panic. Is the groom dead? Did someone poison him? And as the bride is rushing around like a headless chicken, who's there to calm her down? None other than her lady-in-waiting, Lucrezia. With a gentle touch and a soft word, she reassures the bride that everything's going to be okay. And in that moment, they share a kiss that seals their fates forever. And now that she's tasted blood, Lucrezia is never going to be satisfied again. And who can blame her? Her father may be the Pope, but he's also a monster. And the groom, well, he's nothing but trouble. Her only solace is her cousin, Giulia, and the two of them plan their escape from this nightmarish wedding, but they'll never make it out alive. See, Alfonso's uncle, the King of Spain, is also staying at the palace, and he's been watching Lucrezia like a hawk. He wants her for himself, and no one, not even her own father, is going to stand in his way. As soon as she leaves her room, he grabs her and forces her to marry him. And if that wasn't bad enough, he immediately takes her virginity. All this within the walls of the Vatican, and no one dares say a word. This is the most scandalous wedding of the Renaissance. and the bride is only 18 years old. To say that Lucretia is devastated would be an understatement, but she's got to pick herself up and start planning her escape. Her new husband is horrible and she couldn't bear the thought of spending the rest of her life with him, and when she finally manages to sneak out of her room, she's spotted by none other than her own father. What is he going to do? Well, he does the only thing that he can think of. He offers her a choice. She can either marry the King of Spain, or she can marry his brother, the King of France. And yes, both brothers are in attendance at the wedding, and neither one knows that the other is there. So, which will it be, France or Spain? Well, Lucretia chooses France, and honestly, we can't blame her. We mean, one king is already married, and the other one is just creepy. And so the Pope sets things in motion, and before long, Lucretia is on her way to Paris. She may be the daughter of the Pope, but she's also just a girl, and all she wants is to find true love. Unfortunately, that's not in the cards for her. See, the French king is already married, and he's not about to divorce his wife for a teenager, no matter how beautiful she is. So he offers her a choice. She can either become a nun or she can marry his brother. Again, it's a lose-lose situation. And in the end, Lucretia chooses to marry her new uncle. At least this way she'll still get to keep her fortune. And so once again, she's taken advantage of, but this time it's by her own family. She's only 18 years old and she's already been forced into 3 marriages. If that's not a good reason to hate your family, we don't know what is. And yet somehow she still manages to hold on to her dignity. In fact, she becomes the favorite mistress of the French court, and she even manages to outlive her first husband. But we won't spoil anything else for you. If you want to hear the rest of her story, please check out our series on the scandalous women of the Renaissance. And it is truly scandalous.